SOLAS Chapter II-1, Part A General. This section provides the scope of the chapter, applicable to new and existing ships to ensure overall safety. It also gives definitions for key terms used throughout the chapter to ensure clarity and consistency. General requirements establishes general requirements for the design and construction of ships, emphasizing safety and seaworthiness. Equivalence allows for the use of alternative designs and arrangements that provide an equivalent level of safety, subject to approval by the relevant authorities. Surveys and inspections mandates regular surveys and inspections to ensure ongoing compliance with safety standards. Maintenance of conditions requires the maintenance of ship conditions to ensure they remain in compliance with safety regulations throughout their service life. Records and documentation ensures proper record keeping and documentation of surveys, inspections, and compliance measures. Part A1. Structure of ships. Structural requirements. Ships must be constructed to withstand the loads and stresses they encounter. Watertight integrity. Ships must have watertight compartments to prevent flooding in case of hull damage. Subdivision. Subdivision of ships into watertight compartments for maintaining stability and buoyancy after damage. Protective coatings. Ships must have protective coatings on dedicated seawater ballast tanks. Safe access. Regulations ensure safe access to tanker bows and other critical areas of the ship. Emergency towing arrangements. Ships must have emergency towing arrangements for safe towing operations. Materials. Restrictions on the use of hazardous materials, such as asbestos, in new installations. Means of access. Requirements for construction and materials of all means of access, ensuring safety. Towing and mooring equipment. Towing and mooring equipment to ensure safe and reliable operations. Noise protection. Measures to protect against excessive noise levels on board. Goal-based standards. Goal-based standards for the construction of bulk carriers and oil tankers to enhance safety. Part B. Subdivision and Stability. Subdivision Index. Ships must meet specific subdivision index to remain afloat and stable after damage. Watertight integrity. Regulations ensure watertight compartments are maintained to prevent flooding. Damage stability. Ships must be designed to withstand damage and maintain stability. Bilge pumping arrangements. Requirements for bilge pumping arrangements to manage water ingress. Stability information. Provided with stability information, including intact and damaged stability data. Special requirements for passenger ships. Enhanced stability requirements for passenger ships. Double bottoms. Regulations for double bottoms in passenger and cargo ships to enhance structural integrity. Watertight bulkheads. Construction standards for watertight bulkheads. Openings in bulkheads. Restrictions on openings in watertight bulkheads to maintain integrity. Part B1. Stability. Stability requirements. Stability criteria to ensure safety under various loading conditions and in adverse weather. Intact stability. Specifies requirements for ships to maintain stability in normal operational conditions. Damage stability. Ensures ships remain stable and afloat after damage by watertight compartments and bulkheads. Watertight integrity. Enforces the maintenance of watertight integrity to prevent flooding and improve survivability. Stability documentation. Ships to carry stability documentation, including stability booklets and damage control plans. Stability software. Use of stability software on ships to assist with stability assessments and management. Operational measures. Guidelines to ensure stability, such as ballast management and cargo loading procedures. Special requirements for different ship types. Specific stability requirements for different types of ships, including passenger ships, cargo ships, and tankers, tailored to their unique operational needs. Regular stability assessments. Mandates regular stability assessments and inspections to ensure continued compliance. Part B2. Subdivision, watertight and weathertight integrity. Watertight bulkheads. Watertight bulkheads are maintained to limit water ingress and improve survivability. Subdivision load line. Specifies the load line to ensure the ship's stability and buoyancy under varying loading conditions. Weathertight integrity. Ensures ships maintain weathertight integrity to prevent water entry in rough sea conditions. Double bottoms. double bottoms in certain areas to enhance structural integrity and prevent flooding, openings in bulkheads and shell, restrictions on the size, number, and positioning of openings in watertight bulkheads. Access openings and closures. Design and maintenance of access openings and their closures to ensure watertightness. Damage control. Damage control measures, including compartmentalization and emergency procedures. Pumping and piping arrangements. Requirements for bilge pumping arrangements to manage water ingress effectively. Emergency preparedness. Emergency plans and drills to handle potential flooding and maintain watertight integrity. Design and construction standards. The design of ships to ensure watertight and weathertight integrity. Part B3. Subdivision load line assignment for passenger ships. Subdivision requirements. Passenger ships subdivided into watertight compartments to ensure buoyancy and stability. Subdivision load line. Specific load line requirements are set to ensure that the ship maintains stability and buoyancy under various loading conditions, considering the number of passengers and their distribution. Stability standards. Ships must meet stringent stability criteria, both in intact and damaged conditions, to ensure safety during operation. Watertight doors. Regulations regarding the design, location, and operation of watertight doors to maintain watertight integrity. Damage stability. Ships must be designed to ensure they remain stable and afloat after sustaining damage, following the principles of damage stability regulations. Protective coatings. Requirement for protective coatings on dedicated seawater ballast tanks to prevent corrosion and enhance safety. Survivability and evacuation. Guidelines for ensuring that passenger ships have adequate measures in place for survivability and evacuation in emergency situations. Inspection and maintenance. Regular inspection and maintenance protocols to ensure the continued effectiveness of subdivision and watertight integrity measures. Documentation. Ships must carry appropriate documentation, including stability booklets and damage control plans, to provide guidance on maintaining stability and subdivision. Part B4. Stability management. Stability booklet. Ships must have a stability booklet that contains stability information, various loading conditions. Operational stability management. Guidelines for managing stability during operations loading and unloading. Stability monitoring systems. Requires the installation of stability monitoring systems to continuously assess the ship's stability status. Loading and ballast plans. Ships to prepare detailed loading and ballast plans to ensure weight distribution and stability. Training, crew training on stability management to understand and implement stability procedures effectively. Emergency procedures. Procedures for managing stability in emergency situations, such as flooding or damage. Regular inspections. Mandates regular inspections and maintenance of stability-related equipment. Stability calculations. Stability calculations to verify the ship's stability under different conditions. Documentation and reporting. Ships must maintain proper documentation of stability assessments. Part C. Machinery installations. This section sets out the general requirements for machinery installations, ensuring that machinery is installed and maintained to guarantee the safety and operational efficiency of the ship. Proper installation and maintenance of machinery are crucial for the reliable operation of the ship. Main and auxiliary machinery. Ensuring the reliability of main and auxiliary machinery. This regulation specifies standards for their construction, installation, and maintenance. Reliable machinery is essential for the safe and efficient operation of the ship, especially in emergencies. Electrical installations. This regulation ensures the safety and reliability of electrical systems on board. It sets out requirements for the installation, protection, and maintenance of electrical equipment, which are vital for the ship's operations and safety systems. Emergency source of electrical power. Ensuring the availability of emergency electrical power is the focus here. The regulation specifies the capacity, location, and protection of emergency power sources to ensure that critical systems remain operational during emergencies. Part D. Electrical installations. Safety and reliability. Electrical systems must be safe, reliable, and designed to prevent electric shocks, fires, and equipment failures. Main power system. Ships require a main electrical system capable of powering essential services such as propulsion, steering, lighting, navigation, and communication. Emergency power source. An independent emergency power supply is mandatory to ensure critical systems, like fire pumps, alarms, and emergency lighting, operate during main power failures. System protection. Protective devices like circuit breakers and fuses are essential to guard against short circuits, overloads, and system damage. Redundancy. Systems must include redundancy to ensure continued functionality. Quality standards. Electrical installations must comply with international safety standards. Accessibility. Equipment must be installed in accessible locations for safe maintenance and inspection. Lighting requirements. Adequate lighting must be maintained in both normal and emergency situations. Fire safety. Electrical installations should be designed to minimize fire hazards. Part E. Additional requirements for periodically unattended machinery spaces. Automation and safety. Machinery must be equipped with automation and monitoring systems. Fire detection. An automatic fire detection and alarm system must be installed. Alarm systems. Audible and visual alarm systems must be available. Remote monitoring. Critical machinery and systems, such as propulsion and electrical power, must be remotely monitored and controlled from the bridge or a centralized control room. Automatic shutdowns. Systems should include automatic shutdown mechanisms for equipment in case of critical faults or dangerous operating conditions. Emergency control. Facilities must enable manual intervention and override of automated systems. Leakage detection. Monitoring systems must detect leaks in fuel, lubricating oil, and other fluids. Protections. Safeguards like temperature, pressure, and speed limiters are required. Inspection and maintenance. Regular inspection and testing of automated systems and alarms. Redundancy. Backup systems must be in place to maintain critical functions. Part F. Alternative design and arrangements. Flexibility. Allows ships to use alternative designs and arrangements that deviate from prescriptive requirements, provided they meet equivalent safety levels. Performance-based approach. Focuses on achieving safety objectives rather than adhering strictly to traditional design rules. Approval process. Proposals for alternative designs must be submitted to the Flag State Administration for review and approval. Risk assessment. A detailed engineering analysis and risk assessment must demonstrate that the alternative design offers equivalent or superior safety compared to standard requirements. Documentation. Comprehensive documentation, including design details, safety assessments, and verification plans, must be provided. Testing and validation. Alternative systems or arrangements must undergo testing and validation to ensure compliance with safety standards. Operational guidelines. Clear operational and maintenance instructions must accompany alternative systems to ensure consistent safety performance. Part G. Ships using low-flashpoint fuels. Scope. Applies to ships using fuels with a flashpoint below 60 degrees Celsius, ensuring enhanced safety measures. IGF code compliance. Mandatory compliance with the International Code of Safety for ships using gases or other low-flashpoint fuels, IGF code, to standardize safety practices. Structural requirements. Requirements for structural integrity to handle low-flashpoint fuels safely. Subdivision and stability. Requirements to maintain stability and prevent fuel leakage or spillage. Machinery and electrical installations. Special guidelines for machinery spaces and electrical installations to prevent ignition of low-flashpoint fuels. Alternative design. Flexibility for alternative designs and arrangements with equivalent level of safety. Fire safety. Enhanced fire protection, detection, and extinguishing systems for low-flashpoint fuel risks. Operational requirements. Training of personnel dealing with low-flashpoint fuels. Thank you for watching the video. For more marine topics, please subscribe channel.